Hi Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make the twist and turn card. But it's such a cute card. I got a swap from Founder's Circle a few years ago, and it's been sitting on my desk for a long time because it's such a cute card. So we're going to go ahead and make it, and this is what it looks like inside. And of course this is a Father's Day card. But I went ahead and made a graduation card, same idea. It's class of 2015, and then it opens up and it looks like that. Holds a little gift card. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the Father's Day one. Okay, so I'm using a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5. And then I'm using a piece of the typeset designer paper. It's absolutely beautiful. So let me tell you why I picked this designer paper. The card, I used the Guy Greeting stamp set, and it says World's Greatest Dad. So this designer paper has the world map on there, so I thought, well, that's pretty perfect. So that's why I went with the typeset designer paper. Okay, so let me give you the measurements. We're going to need one piece, and this is cut at 2.5 by 4.25, and then I'm using another piece which is cut at 2.5 by 2.5. Okay, so then I have also a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is cut at 2.5 by 4.25 also. All right, so let's go ahead and make the base of the twist turn card first. Let me grab my paper trimmer. All right, so we're going to take the 8.5 inch side across the top, and we're going to score this at 2 3/4, 4, and then turn it so the 5.5 inch side is along the top. I'm going to score that at 2 3/4. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and fold our score lines. I find folding it makes it a little bit easier to see the lines when we're going to actually use our ruler. Let me get my ruler and my stylist. So once you fold your score lines, you're going to be able to see them a lot better. So now the trick here, you're going to keep the long part of the card, which I consider this to be the long side, to the right hand side. And then this is going to be the center point where we're going to be scoring with our ruler. So I'm going to take my stylus, I'm just going to place it right at that center point of that I think this was the 4-inch score line. Put that there, then we're going to use our ruler and line that up with that point of the stylus, and then line it up to the 2 3/4 inch score line. And you want this pretty close, dead on, okay? So because it does make a difference. If you're off even a little tiny bit, your corners are not going to be crisp and they're going to rip. So you want to kind of get it right on the score line. Okay, and then we're just going to turn it. Your points are all going to go towards the long side. So you're going to come in here, and then you're going to go out this way. Okay? Okay, so it should look like this. Let me fold it, maybe you'll see it better. Okay, so take your bone folder and get really nice crisp score lines. Okay, so that shows up a little bit better, hopefully on the camera. Okay, so now the next trick to this card, because it's a moving card, which I absolutely love, you'll want to fold this in every direction, and maybe multiple times. So the more you fold it on your score lines, you're breaking the fibers down on the cardstock. So it's going to be a lot easier to maneuver, to make it move. All right, so let me go ahead and do that. So now this is the most important part of this card, these center points right here. And this is the way we want to close the card. So you're going to get this mountain point here from the 2 score lines that we made with the ruler. You're going to make this point go up. So that's called a mountain fold. So you're going to make sure that that's going up, and you're just going to fold it. And then it should just, seriously, it just did it. Did you see that? It should just pop right into place, just like that. And then you're just going to twist it up. That's it. Isn't that easy? All right, so then I would just go ahead and reinforce those fold lines once you get the card in its position. Okay, so that's it. And then you can open the card like that. Super cute. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and decorate it. So let me grab the designer paper and the Very Vanilla. And first we're going to go ahead and sponge. We're going to use the stamping sponges, and we're going to use the crumb cake, classic ink, and we're going to sponge the designer paper and the Very Vanilla. Okay, so now this would be the time if you wanted to go ahead and sponge your finished card, which I did do on this one. And you don't have to, but if you want to, you would go ahead and do that for your base card. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and stamp. And I went ahead and took out all the stamps that we're going to use. Actually, I did already previously stamp a few images. I stamped No One Else Fills Your Shoes. And then I also went ahead and stamped World's Greatest. And I stamped them both with the Early Espresso classic ink. So let me open that up because we're going to do some stamping. So, and these stamps are from Guy Greetings, which is like my favorite Guy stamp now. It's got all these amazing images and greetings inside this one stamp set. So we're using that. And we're going to go ahead and stamp. So I'm just going to get my stamps on my blocks real quick. So I have a piece of Very Vanilla. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp the truck, or the car, with the Early Espresso. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp Happy Father's Day. And this is the piece that's going to go on the inside of the card. So I'm also going to use the Early Espresso for that. Okay. And then for the scrap, I'm going to use Dad. I'm going to stamp that. Okay, so then we're going to take these little tiny shoes because it goes with No One Else Can Fill Your Shoes. How cute. And I'm going to stamp this with the crumb cake. Let me get a piece of computer paper here to stamp off a little bit. So I just want this to be a little bit of a light color on the background. So I'm just going to go ahead and randomly stamp these shoes all over the back side, or the background of the inside. Just randomly all over. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this up. I put 3 dimensionals on the back. It says, Happy Father's Day. No one else can fill your shoes. How cute. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that on the inside of the card. I'm going to go right here. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and punch out the 2-inch circle punch. Let me see here. I gotta cut this down a little bit. So the 2-inch circle punch will punch out the vehicle. And then we're going to use the 2 3/8 scallop circle punch with the Early Espresso. Okay, then we're going to take the small oval punch and we're going to punch out the Dad. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and sponge the vehicle and then the Dad. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and pop up the vehicle onto the 2 3/8 scallop circle punch. Put a dimensional on the back side of that. Then also a dimensional behind the Dad. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put the designer paper onto the front. And one thing, you want to make sure that you're putting your designer paper on your card when it's in position. Even though it can go like this, and with the map designer paper, I'm sure it will be fine. And I guess it really just depends on your designer paper that you pick. Because like the graduation one, it really doesn't matter. And then I went ahead and did the whole sides. I wanted to show you that too. But see, it's just the type of designer paper. It doesn't matter if it's in position or not. It's still going to be super cute. So just keep that in mind when you're, you know, designing your card. All right, then we're just going to put this piece on. Make sure you're, well, with this designer paper too, with it being a world map, you want it to be the correct side up. I mean, like for the words and the countries and stuff. So then that's the way the card's gonna sit when it's in position. So now I'm gonna go ahead and adhere the World's Greatest with adhesive. Close the card, and then I'm just gonna position this right over here to the right. And then pop up the dad. This stamp set is so cute. It's got, you know, for every man in your life. Grandpa, uncle. It's amazing. And then we're just going to take the vehicle. I'm going to put that right up in the little square there. Isn't it cute? Okay, so now let me show you how I did the gift card part of the card. So I have a gift card here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the two-way glue pen. You all know that I love the two-way glue pen for glitter. It's called a two-way glue pen because you can use it two different ways. The one way is, of course, with glitter if you want something permanent. But if you want it to be temporary, like a Post-it note, you're just going to apply it to your area and let it air dry. Just apply the glue to a certain area. It's going to dry clear. You know, it probably doesn't look very good on the video right now. And then what I found too is if I pounce on the glue pen and add like raised glue, it might even grab the gift card a little bit better. Because the gift card's flat and then the cardstock's flat, so I don't know, just try it. And then of course you're going to let that air dry. Don't shut your card before it's dry. And then you're just going to go ahead and put the gift card right on there and it will hold it. Okay, so then like on this one, let me just show you here. It just sticks in there. This is already dried, but it's sticky to the touch. And then you just press the card onto that glued area and it holds it really, really good. And then here's the Father's Day one. I put a Starbucks card in there. Also, you might want to try, if you wanted to have it positioned when it's sitting up, just add a little bit of the two-way glue pen in the corner. And it will kind of be tacky enough to have you open it and have it set up like that. Just like the graduation card here. Okay. I'm thinking maybe this might be dry enough. Put that right on there. Yep, just like that. So that's how you make that twist turn card. Okay, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.